Alright, so nagbabalik tayo sa ating violin tips and tricks. And for today's video, I want to talk about playing the violin without the shoulder pad or shoulder rest, no? Kasi I've been having a lot of questions coming from my students who wants to try out playing without a shoulder pad or shoulder rest. So, ano ba yung mga drawbacks, trade-offs, or let's say, what can you get when you're not playing with the shoulder pad na? Kasi a lot of people are trying to not play with their shoulder rest, no? Pero kung sanay ka playing with your shoulder pad or shoulder rest, mahirapan ka din to transition. It's not that easy, no? Kasi maraming drawbacks, pero meron din namang mga benefits that you can get, no? So first of all, if you've been following me, you know that I don't put on shoulder pads or shoulder rests. And it's a personal preference. And I think it's not a necessity or a requirement for you to play with it or without it. So nakadepende yon sa kung paano, gaano ka komportable mag-play, no? Sabi nila, pag mataas yung neck, if you have a longer neck, you would need one. But I know a few people with long necks that don't use shoulder pads as well. And I know people who have stocky frames, no, short necks like me, that use shoulder pads. It's just what's more comfortable for you, diba? Yun yung mas mahalaga. It's not just about how you look, it's about the comfort that it brings to you. So, if you have been playing with the shoulder pad, no? So, kapag may shoulder rest kasi, anong nangyayari is, I'll simulate with my hand, no, yung shoulder pad. Ayan. Is nakapatong yung violin doon sa shoulder pad. Nakaklamp siya, di ba? And what happens is, it raises your instrument so that you can lock in your head onto your instrument easier. No? Mas madali mo siya mailalock. Kasi, ano ba yung nangyayari sa ilalim? It stabilizes the instrument dun sa baba, dito sa may collarbone mo. It's not really put onto your shoulder, malapit lang dun sa shoulder, no? Pero you don't really put it there. Meron types that clamp over, no? So, yun, okay lang din naman yun. But, the main purpose is to stabilize that lower part para hindi na siya gumalaw and locks you into place, no? In turn, mas free yung hand natin gumalaw. Mas madali ka makakapag-vibrato. It's easier for you to shift. Why? Because you won't need to hold on to your instrument. Kasi kung walang shoulder pad, may times na hindi siya laging straight, no? Hindi laging ganito yung mangyayari. Kasi konting galaw mo lang, naiiba-iba yung position ng instrument or your violin, no? So, you're trading stability for mobility. Ganun ka siya nakikita. Why? Because you can't do this. Mahihirapan kang mag-tilt-tilt ng violin. Kasi nga, the lower part or the underside of your instrument is stably placed there. Nandito na siya sa may collarbone mo. And pag ginanon mo, gagalaw na rin yung part ng shoulder pad na nakakontak sa body natin. No? So, those are the things you need to actually consider. And they also say na kapag gumagamit ka ng shoulder pad is nababawasan yung resonance ng instrument. I would agree that at some extent it does happen, pero it's not that noticeable, especially if you're really good with your instrument. If you know what you're doing, your instrument can adjust to what you are doing. So kung kailangan mo na mas malakas na tunog, syempre mas malalaksan siya. But a lot of people try to take it off just so they can feel their music more or the music that their instrument is producing. So yun, kaya tinatanggal kasi syempre mas malapit yung body natin sa vibration ng instrument, mas nararamdaman din natin. So it's easier for you to distinguish the reaction of your instrument kasi yung vibration niya mas malapit sa'yo. So you're technically closer in with your instrument. But it's not just taking it off tapos ayos na, no? You don't just take off the shoulder pad and you can be able to play as well as you were playing without your shoulder pad. Especially if you were purely relying on it. So, ano ba yung mga pwede nating gawin just to get better with playing without one, no? Kasi, ang nakikita kong problem if people take off their shoulder pads is that they raise now their shoulders. No? Pag nagkaroon tayo ng shoulder raise, what happens is there's tension building up here. And we don't want that tension because that tension will flow into your hands. Mas maninigas ka, hindi mo makokontrol ng ayos yung instrument. So, what you want to do is always make sure that you are relaxed and that this part of your body doesn't lift, no? So, mag-change din yung positioning mo. Kasi, usually if you have a shoulder pad, it's only in one place. So, around here siguro, no? Kasi doon lang siya papasok sa contour ng body mo. Now, without the shoulder pad, you can actually do more. Diba? You can move your instrument more inward kung mas komportable ka dito or outward kung dito ka mas comfortable. So, it's taking off that default position. So, you can do more adjustments with your instrument dahil wala ka nang shoulder pad that's hindering your movement. But the thing is, you have to find that, and then, as we've talked about in some previous episodes, you have to recalibrate again your bow hold or your bow placement. Kasi magbabago yun. Kasi pwede mo na siya iganito, so you have to follow it with that. No? And of course, you need to understand that you would need your head more. Kasi with the shoulder pad, parang stable na siya dito sa ilalim. No? And you're just adding this to lock it in. But now, you have to make sure that you move your head properly. No? Kasi head movement will now affect the position of your violin. No? We've talked about this again before. So you can do head movements like if you tilt your head to your left, what happens is your violin moves to this angle. So it's easier for you to reach high notes, no? For that example. And then if you tilt your head to your right, you can move the instrument inwards, making it easier for you to reach your G string or your lower strings, diba? So meron ka na ngayon mobility na magawa yun. But nagiging problem then is people who just take off their shoulder pads are now relying more on their hands, no? Which is wrong kasi yun nga yung ayaw natin eh, di ba? The main purpose of holding your violin with your head and your body is so that you don't grip. So yung ibang students ko has this problem where their hands are getting strained. Meron daw nararamdaman na konting discomfort here. Kasi anong nangyari, dahil tinanggal mo yung security or yung stability of the shoulder pad, you're relying on your hands. So you have to understand that you should still rely on your head and body to hold on to your instrument. Now, syempre may times yan, hindi naman nga ganun ka-stable, so your violin would want to go down. That's the time. You don't hold it, but you just support it to go up so that you can lock it again. So yun yung importante. Pag mababa ng konti, ganun lang. Ganito lang yung pwede natin gawin. Hindi natin siya pwedeng hawakan because if you hold on to it, wala na, hindi na makakagalaw yung daliri natin and yung kamay natin. So, it's still here. The stability will come from how you lock it into place. Yeah. So, of course, shifting would be a tad bit more harder, no? To say the least. Kasi, when you're shifting with the shoulder pad, no? Halos wala, hindi mo kailangan hawakan. Pero dahil wala kang shoulder pad, meron konting time wherein you would try to hold on to your instrument. But again, you don't need to grip, no? You just let your hands slide. Pero there is going to be more support coming here. Kasi nga, we're compensating for the lack of stability that we lost because we lost the shoulder pad. Pero bakit nga ba tinanggal na nga yung pagiging stable pero a lot of people still want to play without a shoulder pad? Kasi it's really important for them to be able to hear what they're playing, no? Tsaka mas maganda kasi yung controlled mo talaga siya. You're technically controlling everything. Again, if you're using a shoulder pad, you're trying to compensate stability and mobility, no? So yun yung pinagpapalit natin. Those are the biggest drawbacks kasi pag stable, mas madaling gumalaw yung left hand. Pag hindi siya stable, mas madaling kontrolin yung instrument. So you have to find it within you kung ano yung mas importante sa'yo. Is it to have more room for your vibrato, or is it so that you can use your violin even better, no? Mas magamit mo siya by changing your positions, no? You can do that, and the shifts would also help, no? So that you can bow more relaxed. Kasi pag nandito, sometimes yung iba hinaabot kasi nila eh. So nahihirapan sila abutin. Kasi nga, isa lang yung magiging position if you have your shoulder pads. No? With regards naman to the height, of course, you can adjust the height of the shoulder pads. Kung wala, tapos nahihirapan pa din, people put sponges underneath. And there's sponges that are designed to be put dito, no? Para hindi mo na rin kailangan ng shoulder pad. So, I hope this video helped you in deciding whether or not you change or take off your shoulder pads, no? And if you did, comment down below, like this video, share this video, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. Follow me on all my socials, links down in the description box below, and my course on Udemy is still available. Check it out, and I'll see you on the next video.